4, 3, 2, 1. I saw a comment, just happened to catch it, in one of the 2 motorcycle videos that I posted, where some very insightful viewer, he had to offer that he felt that I'm trying to be Rich Piana now, or I think I'm Rich Piana, or something like that. I guess that's because I have a motorcycle. So because Rich rode a bike for 5 minutes in one of his videos, then I've been riding bikes for the past, I don't know how many years, 35 years? 35 years? 40 years? I don't know what the hell it is. But I saw that 40 years ago, that would be useful to me after Rich Piana's passing. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know where these people, where their brains are. Since this guy knows so much, I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and make this video. You know, I started to make this video some time ago, but I didn't do it. I didn't post it because I didn't want to make it seem like I'm trying to lay any responsibility at anybody else's feet for what happened to Rich Piana. And I want to say right up front that I'm not trying to do that. I don't feel that way at all, but what I'm getting ready to share with you is absolutely 100% true. I was right there. I'm an eyewitness. I heard what I heard. I saw what I saw. And that is that Rich Piana knew he was dying innately. He knew that he was dying, and he shared that information with people that were closest to him well over a year in advance of his death. So the guy knew that what he was doing was killing him. He felt that he was dying. He felt he was dying. His intuition told him, I'm dying. And that's exactly what he was quoted as saying, I'm dying. So let me just very briefly explain. I'm not going to make this into some really long video. It is what it is. The year we went to the Arnold, had a booth at the Arnold. It wasn't this last Arnold. What was it, Arnold before last? 2 Arnolds ago, right? 2. You know, I bumped into Rich Piana at the hotel. We were staying at the same hotel, and we had a private little discussion in the lobby, sitting next to a fireplace. Or I've gone over that before. I didn't really know the guy. You know what I mean? I met him that one time, just in a private, unguarded moment, and we just had some candid conversation, and got to know each other a very little bit. And my offhand impression was that there was a lot more to that guy than what the videos would have ever led me to believe up to that point, and that he was 100% completely genuine and heartfelt when he told me that really the most important thing to him, the why he does it all, was because of the fans, because of his fan base, because of the people, that was what did it for him. That was what made it all worthwhile. And that might sound cheesy because, it was a huge money machine, but I think it was genuine. I absolutely, nobody's going to convince me otherwise, that the guy really did care, and that is what he lived for, that aspect of it. Anyhow, I think it was probably the second morning we were there. I got up, and I was like punch drunk, tired still, because it really is like a whole lot of overstimulation being at these big expos like the Arnold, and had never done anything like that before, never had this booth, so I was on my feet all day, talking with people, kidding with people, just trying to spread myself around as much as I could, and I was tired. I was exhausted. And I stumbled to the elevator by myself and went up to one of the restaurants in the hotel as soon as it opened. so that I could get some breakfast and some coffee, some much needed coffee for my old ass. And I went in there. The place was, situationally, I was aware that the place was empty except for workers. They just opened. They were just opening. And it's a pretty big place. And I'm sitting in there. I sat wherever I wanted. I sat next to a pole, kind of partly obstructed, because I just wanted to be off to myself somewhat, quiet, and just wake up with some coffee and maybe have a little something to eat. And then, get ready to go back to the room and get ready with everybody else. And let's go to the exhibition hall and do it again another day. So while I'm sitting there, it's very quiet. I'm just reflecting, trying to wake up. In comes someone who I will not mention or describe that is clearly huge part of Rich's circle, innermost circle. And this person was with apparently two business people related to the industry. And they were wearing polo shirts, and they didn't look like they worked out. Maybe they did work out, but they looked like business, smart business guys. And the person I'm referring to that was near to Rich is sitting there. And this is just one of these people that speaks loudly, that's just loud. And being that I'm the only other person really in there, it was loud. And it was disturbing to me. This is why I noticed it, not because I'm trying to pick up on the conversation, but because I'm beat and I'm like, oh my God, please. The quietude that I had enjoyed to that point was so much more preferable. So I'm drinking my coffee, and I cannot help but overhear, because it was said several times louder than what it needed to be said. The person says to the other two business guys something to the effect of, I have to paraphrase because I can't remember exactly this part, but leading up to it, it was something to the effect of dealing with Rich. And it was some kind of how to deal with Rich. And this person said, talking about a personal experience with him that kind of relates whatever the point was the person was trying to make. Person said, and this part I can quote, I'll never forget it, I can hear it right now, the same voice. I'm dying. And that was how they said it. That was like they were imitation of, what they heard from Rich. I'm dying. And I told him, you're not dying. So I heard that, and that was like, wow. And I did share that with people closest to me when we all got back together later that morning and went to the expo, because it seemed to me, wow. So this guy he's the guy that's actually pulling the chuck wagon, the workhorse that's pulling the chuck wagon, that really works himself ragged when you think about it, really. And he tries to confide in someone his fear that he's dying. And that's the response, which to me seemed horrible. And like I said, I'm not trying to say that response was any type of malicious intent behind it. I'm not saying that at all. I think that nobody would want to believe it. And I think that just to squash that, it was probably thought that he was over-exaggerating or whatever it was, right? But the whole thing is, the ironic thing is that he was right. He was right. And then later you would see that he went on to try to downsize, et cetera, et cetera. But I just wonder, did anybody pay enough attention to heed that enough, that with all the money that was being generated, did he have medical care? Did he even say this is something that needs to be looked at? We can't have him just, and did he go get the medical attention he needed then? Was he compelled, or was he pushed by others around him to say, look, let's go get you checked out then thoroughly? So that's the only thing. I just think it's horrible, but it's just, it is what it is. It's over. There's nothing's going to be done about it. And there's more detail, but that's all I'm going to say, because it's more doesn't matter. That's the point, is that the man he was intuitive enough and knew his body enough that he knew he was dying, and that's what he opined. And guess what? He was right. So as far as me trying to be like Rich Piana, I'm not trying to be like Rich Piana in any way, shape, or form. Absolutely not. In fact, I'm trying to learn. I've absolutely learned from Rich Piana. See how much smaller I am? Go back and look at any of my other videos the past few years. or I just walk around all day long in the 270s. In better shape than this, harder than this, and leaner than this. Yeah, harder than this and leaner than this. And now I'm 40 some pounds lighter. Yeah, so no, I'm not trying to be like Rich Piana. I'm trying to hang around a little longer. Not necessarily on YouTube or on social media, just in the world. Just this side of the dirt. And if anything, I took notice of that. And, I had a little health scare. Supposedly it was nothing, but if somebody tells me, you're not dying, I'm not going to believe that. I'm going to give credence and fair weight to my intuition, and my intuition was, yeah, there was something wrong with my health at a point. And even though medically they said, oh, you're in awesome shape, you're in fantastic shape, right? After a whole battery of extensive tests, that's still enough to convince me. I'm glad to hear it. It makes me feel more at ease, but what it mostly did was just underscore the probability that if I change my ways then and there, I'm not going to die that quickly, maybe. So that's why I'm so much lighter. So yeah, another brilliant poster with an awesome comment. It is what it is.